What's good, y'all, man? We're back again with another video. Today we're here to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. Yesterday we talked about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like recording that video. It hurt. I think we're gonna be fucking terrible. I kind of lied throughout the whole video. I ain't gonna lie. I said we can make up Western Conference Finals. I don't even think that. Our second round is our ceiling, but other than that, yeah, we suck. But on to my other team, and when I say my other team, hear me out. Brandon Ingram played for the Lakers. I was a huge fan of him on the Lakers, and he got traded. Same thing with Lonzo. They both got traded. Now I'm a Pelicans fan. Now I'm a Jazz fan. Connor Sexton got traded, one of my favorite players of all time. Now I gotta be a Jazz fan. That's just how shit works. Don't worry about it. But talking about this Pelicans team, I'm actually really excited for them this year. And I think when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to be a team that's going to be really hard to beat. Just looking at the top, man, Willie Green, I think he's one of the best up-and-coming coaches we have. And I love how he just lets his players be them. In Game 5, Brandon Ingram started to slow down as far as scoring. And then in Game 5 and Game 6, he made him the major playmaker for the team. In Game 3, Jonas Valentine got clamped up. He was terrible. And then in Game 4, he ran the offense through Jonas Valentine. Shit like that he showed me in the playoffs, I just love that. And I just love how he puts his fire under his guys. I think he let Jose Alvarado do the shit that he wanted to do as far as being a pest and being annoying to Chris Paul. A lot of coaches wouldn't let him play 94 feet for every play. But he let shit like that happen. And I just love how he encourages his guys. And I think he's a really good coach. Now, looking at the point guard position, I think they got a lot of ways they can run this. A lot. And this is why I just look at them and I'm like, yo, they don't have a flaw. Because at point guard position, yes, CJ's going to play the point. But Brandon Ingram can play the point. Zion can play the point. They have so many good playmakers. And if Dyson Daniels is who I think he is, he's going to make that argument to be a starter because he's a really, really good passer. Like, all around, they just don't really have a flaw. I'm expecting CJ to have a way better year than he did last year. You can see kind of in the playoffs, he didn't really know when to be CJ because Brandon Ingram was doing his thing. But now that they've been teammates for a little over, not a year, but a little over 9 months, I'm expecting the chemistry to build up between them. And I'm expecting him to have a really good year. As far as his playmaking, he showed me something. I didn't think he was as good of a playmaker as he was. I didn't even think he was as good of a passer as he was at the end of last year. But he showed me that he's able to play that point guard position. So I don't think they're really going to lack at that. Now, when it comes to the two, I just said this on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, and if you're in the Who Has Hoops community, you see my tweet. I said, hot take, I'm starting Trey Murphy over Herb Jones. Yes, I just made a video about Herb Jones. But for this team, I think they just going to need that spot-up shooter. Now, if Herb Jones is able to shoot 37% from three, you're decent. But just looking at Trey Murphy, he brings all the things that Herb Jones brings, just to a lower degree, but way better shooting. He cuts just like Herb Jones cuts. He plays defense just like Herb Jones plays defense. Now, Herb Jones is just, he's on another level. But Trey is not no slouch on defense, but he shoots way better than Herb Jones. In that game against the Clippers in a play-in, in that fourth quarter, they won because he hit 4 threes in the fourth quarter. He is a sniper, and they're going to need that in that starting lineup. But I wouldn't mind them starting Herb Jones because you know who Herb Jones is, one of the best defenders already in the league. And his shooting, even last year, it wasn't bad. I think he shot 35% from three. That's a lot better than I thought he was going to shoot coming out of Alabama. Then you look at the three, you got their guy, Brandon Ingram. The guy has no flaws. I tell you guys that all the time. Might not be nothing great, but as far as the scoring, that's great. Playmaking is decent. On defense, he's decent. That's just one improvement I think he has to make, though. For them to be better, they need better wing defenders, and he has to be one of those guys. So I'm expecting big things from him this season. Same thing with Zion. And this is the same point I made in my Lakers video. I don't want to put that MVP title on Zion because he just missed a year. We got to wait to see what type of Zion we're getting. But if we're getting 27 and 60% from the field, Zion, put him in the MVP. Even though I think Brandon Ingram was the better player, put him in the MVP because this team's going to be really good if he does that. And then, as far as Jonas Valanciunas, I'm not really worried about the fit between him and Zion because I seen Zion average 27 and 60% with Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams as his spacing. So I'm not really worried about that. But Jonas Valanciunas, one of the steady centers we have in this league, one of the steady players we have in this league, a walking double-double, Mr. Consistent himself. If he can go back to shooting the way he was shooting in the beginning of last season, where he was shooting 38% from three, and I think he had a game where he had 7 threes. If we can go back to that, not 7 threes, but like shooting like 36, 37% from three, if he can go back to that, they can be really good. But then the one thing that I love about this team, they bench is just, it's so hard because they can go any way with their bench. They have 3 decent point guards off the bench. Jose Alvarado, Devontae Graham is decent, and he's okay. And then, like I said, Dyson Daniels, give him some time. He's going to be him. So they're deep at the point guard position. Then you look at the wing position. You still have Herb. I don't know who's going to start, but you have Herb, Trey Murphy, what's his name, Najee Marshall. They're deep right there. The one thing I think they lack is the center position, but then, now that I say that, I forgot, they still have Larry Nance, and Larry Nance was a big part of this team because he brought a lot of defense, he brought a lot of offensive rebounding last year, and that's something they needed. And I'm forgetting, they still have Jackson Hayes. Yeah, this team is deep. This team is deep, and looking at their ceiling, I don't even want to talk about that. I think that's too early in the video to talk about that, but just looking at their bench, I think they have a lot of ways they can go. I hope they make Dyson Daniel the main guy off the bench. Not meaning the main scorer, but like, let's say he's coming off the bench, but he's still playing with Brandon Ingram or Zion. I hope they make him the main ball handler because I think he's a really good playmaker, and I think he plays well off those guys, and I think he can make well for those guys. And I hope we get some minutes with him and Jackson Hayes because I think Jackson Hayes made the improvements last year and being a better pick and roll center, and that's something that Dyson Daniels thrives off of. He's really good in the pick and roll, and he's never had a center like that. Even in Australia, he's never had a center as athletic as Jackson Hayes and as talented as Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes did a lot of things to his games last year that made him look like a better player. Like a couple years ago, his first 2 years, I made the argument like, yo, he's not even an NBA player. He's just here based off his pure talent, which is he's just fucking athletic. But looking at him now, he has a way better game. Last year he was shooting a lot of mid-range shots, hitting him. He hit 2 threes in the playoffs. He shot a lot more threes last year. Was really good at that, and he actually got some shot creation in the post. So stuff like that, and then you pair that next to Dyson Daniels, who's a really good passer. The sky's the limit with that, especially coming off the bench. And then you got a guy like Jose Alvarado, who just whatever you need, he's gonna bring. In the playoffs, he's shown that whatever you need, he's going to bring. If you want playmaking, he can playmake. If you want some type of scoring, he can score at some times. And if you want defense, he's there. Defensive player of the year in college. I don't think y'all know that. I think he's there. What is Georgia Tech in the ACC? He was defensive player of the year on that team. Like I said, you still got Jackson Hayes, Trey Murphy. I'm expecting a huge year from Trey Murphy. If he does come off the bench, make him the main scoring option because he has it, bro. He has it. I think Trey Murphy has the potential to be one of the best 3-and-D wings in the league. And I think he's one of those hybrid type 3-and-D wings where it's just not 3-and-D. It's 3-and-D and then a little bit of scoring. He can actually score the ball. He showed that in the summer league, and he showed that some parts of last season in the playoffs. So just looking at this team, they don't lack shit. Playmaking, they got it. Star talent, they have 3 of those guys. Defense, they have a lot of that. I think that's the most underrated part of the team. A lot of people say they're scared or they don't know where their defense is coming from. Herb Jones is the type to be able to carry a defense, especially in year 2. He can carry a defense. Then you bounce that back with Jonas Valentine. I think he's an underrated defender, and I don't think that gets talked about enough. And you got Jose Alvarado off the bench. You still got Trey Murphy, who's also a really good perimeter defender. And then I'm hoping for a Brandon Ingram up. I'm hoping for him to get better in defense. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering my ass off. Let's slow down. But Dyson Daniels, same thing. He came into the league being one of the best defenders in his class. So they have the defense. And then you look at the coach. They have the coach. You look at the bench. They have the bench. You look at the pesky guys. They have those. Like, they don't really lack nothing. They got the guys that give them the heart and soul. They got Jose Alvarado. I think Herb Jones is their heart and soul. Even though he's not the talking type of guy, just the shit that he does, you need that stuff. And the energy that he brought in that arena last year in the playoffs, just off of pure talent on defense, they're going to need that. And they have that with Herb Jones. I just don't think they lack anything. And then when we're looking at them stacking up against other rosters in the regular season, I think they're a top 4 lock. I think they're built for the regular season. But I also think they're built for the postseason. I think in a series with them and the Nuggets, they can beat the Nuggets because who is stopping Zion? Who is the perimeter defender that's going to stop Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum? Jokic can carry you, but he can only carry you so far because I'm definitely putting Herb Jones and Jamal Murray, and he'll take care of that. We'll find out what we do with Jokic. But everybody else, you're going to have to find somebody else to score because other than Jokic, everybody else is locked. With the Lakers, they beat the Lakers in like 4 or 5. With the Clippers, that's a hard series because I just named all the depth that the Pelicans got. The Clippers got way more. That's a hard series. I'd probably pick them to lose that. The Warriors, I think I just don't see the Warriors losing to anybody except Giannis. Like when they're healthy, I don't see them losing to anybody. The Mavericks, I think they beat the Mavericks easily. I am not high on the Mavericks. If you want a Mavericks video to know why I'm not high, let me know because I'm not high. They're gonna make the play-in. They're gonna be in the play-in. Same thing with the Grizzlies. They will wash the Grizzlies. They would wash them, healthy or not. They will wash them. The Grizzlies just can't. This team, 3 All-Stars, and then you have 2 top 20 players, one being French top 15. Yeah, this team got it. So when I look at their ceiling, I say their ceiling is definitely a Western Conference Finals if they get the right matchups. Like if they get a Lakers in the first round. Let's say they're the 2 seed, the Lakers the 7 seed. They get the Lakers in the first round. Then the next round you get the Nuggets or the Suns. They wash both of those teams. They can make the Western Conference Finals. But their floor to me is a first round exit. That's it. But that's it for this video, man. I want to go on rambling, man. I'm actually really tired. This is my 4th video in a row. I have been working hard for y'all, man. This is my 4th video in a row. So shout out to y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We got another video. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll let y'all know when you watch the fucking video.